You might have noticed your email inbox piling up with emails over the last few months with the subject line Privacy Policy Update, or Updates to our Privacy Policy, or We've updated our privacy policy. You might be asking, what the hell is going on? Why am I receiving all of these emails? How do I stop it, and has the world gone on fire? Welcome to the new era of General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, the new European Union legislation designed to protect European citizens' data. How did it happen? Well, after realizing that having 27 different countries within the EU, each with their own laws on data protection within each country, alongside thousands of different companies operating across Europe's borders, and congratulations, you've now got yourself a minefield of contradictory laws you could possibly break. Say a company breaks a data protection law in one country, which would technically affect the citizens of another country, but potentially not break a law in the rest, dependent upon each country's individual data protection laws, and you've got yourself a legal mess that means if said company had a data breach or something similar, individuals' data could potentially not entirely be protected. Compound this with the landmark right to be forgotten case, the EU said enough is enough. Having 27 different rules for the same problem is woefully inadequate, so GDPR was born. Oh, and that 28th soon-not-to-be member of the EU is still keeping this regulation with the highly inventive name GDPR UK. So what does GDPR actually do? Well, it lays out a number of different regulations, but the ones that are probably most interesting and relevant to you are how different internet companies handle and protect your data. So the new legislation lays it out like such, that 1, a regular citizen of the European Union is a data subject, that's you, and that 2, your data might be given to a data processor, a company, who then hands that information to a 3, data controller, who handles your data, like a big database with yours and others' information. As a data subject within the EU, you can now request that the data controller tells you what data they have on you, and that controller is now legally obligated to give you that information in whatever way you are best able to access it, whether that's a CD, USB stick, or even a carrier pigeon. And if you want that data to be gotten rid of, the controller is now legally obligated to destroy that data they have on you. On top of this, data controllers can only have your data for as long as it's deemed relevant, up to about 3 months. And it just gets better for companies too, for if they become aware that the data they have on subject is compromised, hacked, in any way, they have 72 hours to inform the data subjects that a hacking has been a cracking, or face the consequences. So why is everyone everywhere getting in contact with you about their updated privacy policies? Well, if data controllers retain your data, but you no longer use their services, they are now, again, legally obligated to get rid of it. And because every company in the world wants your data in order to figure out how to sell stuff to you, and because they operate in Europe, they desperately want to make sure that you can stay in their database, and at the same time comply with these new regulations. So now every small company that you bought something from some 5 years ago and haven't returned to, every Facebook competitor that you signed up to but no longer use, and even the online supermarket you use for groceries every month wants to make sure that you can stay on their database and not be in contravention of any of the new legally obligated stuff, or they could face fines of up to 4% of their annual profits or 20 million euros, whichever is greater. And no company wants to mess with the EU because of all the fines and such they have dished out over the years to companies in contravention of EU regulation. So, if you want to find out what companies are doing with your data, feel free to use the template I've written up in a link in the description below. Also, I should add, I'm not a lawyer, just a concerned citizen. Please don't approach me for legal advice. And if you want to see more like this, hit up the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.